Minute to go.
Yes. So let me greet you formally now. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing?
Great.
Fine.
Awesome.
Good evening.
Use emojis, unmute yourselves. Okay. So are you all ready to grab a scoop of inspiration and sprinkle a bit of enthusiasm on it and get ready for this delicious meeting that we'll be having for the next 2 hours? Now, before you guys start drooling, I just want to remind you few key points which you already know, but I'll still remind. So our sweet journey will be of 2 hours, and your cameras, as I requested earlier, should be on always, if you can. And your audio should be off. Should be on only when you need to speak or you're called to speak. Toastmaster International allows us to present our views on any kind of topics, including topics of sex, religion, and politics. But we at the Gabbys Online Toastmaster Club request everyone to be mindful and abstain from speaking on these topics. We also urge you to not use any kind of sexist or racist undertones, which may seem disrespectful or create hostility and discomfort for the members and guests. So I welcome you all again to the 12th meeting at the Gabbys Online Toastmaster Club. Now I'll hand over this meeting to our presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Karthik Venugopal. He's working as a full stack developer and is a tech trainer too. He's a history and movie buff and loves storytelling and loves music. So over to you, presiding officer, Toastmaster Karthik.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chaitanya. So give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Chaitanya, our Sergeant at Arms. Hope you have a great evening with a good ice cream, Chaitanya. Thank you. So a very good evening to all of you. It's my pleasure to be presiding over the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club meeting. And I call upon meeting number 12 to order. I would like to acknowledge and the presence of all guests to our meeting. So let me see who all are there in our meeting. The guests. Okay. Anyone here? I don't see any guests today. All are Gabbys members. Okay. I think everybody is a Gabbys member. Okay. Would you like to share any one of you? So we'll go with any Gabbys member today. Any new members? I see Manvi. So how are you feeling today? Manvi, you there? Okay, let's move on to Shilpi. Shilpi, how is the evening going on to you? Unmute yourself. No, you're not audible. Okay, so I think let's move on with our meeting. So we don't have any guests today in our meeting, I think. So let's move on with our meeting with all our members. So dear guests and visiting Toastmasters, we appreciate you joining us, though we don't have any guests, but I do appreciate everybody joining us. But if any guests are in the meeting, if I miss calling them, due to paucity of time, we won't be having an opportunity to introduce each one of you. So I would like to use the chat function to introduce yourself if you have joined by now. And also a QR code of our guest group will be shared in the chat, so you can join our guest WhatsApp group through that link. So for the benefit of everyone, I want to reiterate that the Toastmasters is a home to people who wish to face their fear of public speaking. Not only that, if you love to connect and network with others, if you want to hone your leadership skills, Toastmasters is the place for you. It's a safe place to learn, unlearn, and relearn. We are proud to carry forward this 100 years of old legacy, which is spanned over 100 plus countries. And also would like to welcome the new members to Gabbys. So in recent 1 week, we have 3 new members, and I would like to applaud them and I would like to welcome them with all of your applause. So unmute yourself and applause all those 3 new members who have chosen Gabbys, and they are Amit Otwani, Rakesh Ravi, and Swati Gupta. Thank you so much for choosing Gabbys, and we wish you all the best to start your journey of Toastmasters. If you already started, then wish you more journey. I mean, a great journey. So with this, let's move on to the today's theme, that is ice cream. enjoy before it melts. So the moment I heard about this, first thing I got in my mind was the faluda, so which I like the most, but I'm allergic to cold items, so which I left. So I left eating ice creams few years back. But sometimes when I get chance, I take that risk and eat. And my favorite ice cream is pista ice cream, pista flavored ice cream. But today it's not just about ice cream. It's about also knowing what lies behind this phrase, enjoy before it melts. I would not take much time on going in deeper with the meaning of what exact meaning of theme is. So let me call upon the Toastmaster of the day, Gihan. So Gihan is an electrical engineer at Moragola hydropower project, and he is from Sri Lanka. Outside Toastmasters, he loves playing badminton, gardening, cooking. Gihan is also passionate about welfare and charity activities. So let me hand over the stage to Toastmaster Gihan Wikramasinghe. So Gihan, over to you. So let us know what exactly do you mean enjoy before it melts, and please let us know the exact meaning of your theme before the meeting melts. That is before the meeting ends. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Karthik, for such warm welcome and kind introduction. Let's give a big round of applause for him. Today, I am the scoop master of this flavorful journey, ensuring each member gets their scoop of speaking and leadership opportunities. Dear esteemed Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests, picture this, a scorching summer day, and in your hand, you hold a scoop of your preferred ice cream flavor. It's a moment of pure bliss, a moment when you can relish the cool, creamy sweetness, the burst of flavors, and the delightful textures. But as you all know, that scoop, like the moments in our lives, is not here to stay forever. It's melting away, one delicious dip at a time. It's encouraging us to make the most of the enjoyable moments, opportunities, or experiences in life while they are still available. I'll share one of my experience. I was searching a Toastmaster club and I called some contacts also by searching on the web. Finally, I could join with Sunday Live Speakers Forum Toastmaster Club in Sri Lanka at the formation of that club. I got the opportunity to be an ESCO member as Sergeant at Arms because I joined in the correct time. After a few times, I joined with a Gabbys meeting as a guest, and I had a willingness to take membership of Gabbys also because I saw something within Gabbys family. I was waiting since I was thinking how to handle all works with professional and personal commitments when I will take dual memberships. But suddenly I decided to proceed with it because I had encouragement and enthusiasm after Toastmaster Sudharma also took the membership. Then I could grab the discount on membership fee as well as I could be the Toastmaster of the day on today's Gabbys meeting. And also now I have a big network among different professions in Sri Lanka as well as India. That's unbelievable. So I have no worries since I could grab so many opportunities because I took right decision on right times before they melted away. So, dear Toastmasters and guests, let's share some experience of favoring our life's beautiful moments. I think everyone can see the share
Yes,
the
yes.
screen.
We can see.
Yeah. There are few ice cream cones with different scoops. Each scoop on the ice cream cone represents a different aspect of life or an opportunity. So please choose one scoop and briefly share how you plan to enjoy before it melts. Any volunteer? And Toastmaster Dana, if you wish, you can put your thoughts in chat box. I will read out later. You can select as favor. Yes, you can put your thoughts in the chat box, then I will read out later.
Gihan, Toastmaster
So,
Chaitanya has raised his hand.
yeah, Toastmaster Chaitanya. You
Yeah,
can
so
select as you wish.
all these flavors are wonderful. It is very difficult to choose anything among it. So I would say personal growth. Like it is not about what you make a goal for yourself. Like you say that you want to be fit by the end of this year. Then it's not that by the end of that year it will be the end. It becomes a lifestyle, and that ice cream should not actually melt ever. So you should keep on enjoying that as much as you can. So that's my view.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Chaitanya. Toastmaster Samita.
My
Which...
take will be on travel.
Oh,
We need to travel to broaden our horizon. We need to travel to learn different things. And we should not wait till we are too old to travel. Travel should be within a year frame or 2 years frame. Make it a plan, make it a priority. Go out, see the world, learn, and make sure that you are enjoying that.
thank you very much, Toastmaster Samita. Everyone will like traveling, but not all selecting in correct moment. Then Toastmaster Priyanka.
Hi, Toastmasters today, Gihan. I'm sorry, I've got a little tense, so I'm not able to switch on my video. But if I have to choose, I will choose adventure.
Oh, really good.
I believe when there is adventure, it will push you to the maximum of your life, and it will help you explore your own self, probably even horizons that you would have even predicted that you could be capable of doing that. And that's one of the reasons I like adventure. I like something that is very challenging. That would be my take. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing such experience, Toastmaster Priyanka. So, anyone else? Okay, then let's move on to our agenda. Now it's time to call upon the general evaluator to introduce the role as well as to introduce the tagline team. Today, our general evaluator is Toastmaster Joane Joseph. Toastmaster Joane Joseph is a content writer and passionate reader. She is an introvert who finds joy in conversation. She immerses herself in diverse music genres and languages, while her free evenings are spent treasure hunting in vintage book and stationery stores. Hailing from Mumbai, she cherishes the sunrises and sunsets as at Marine Drive. Toastmaster Joane Joseph, over to you to introduce your role as well as Taggle team.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Toastmaster of the day, Gihan. Thank you so much. I'm the general evaluator for the meeting tonight, and my role is simply to evaluate and be responsible for every single role player, speaker, evaluator, and ensure that everybody is doing their job perfectly. To do this, basically, I have a team. I'm not going to do this alone. I have a team of people who help me to evaluate and keep the role players and speakers in check. And that team is called as the tackle team. So let me call upon the timer for the meeting today. The timer for today is Toastmaster Upasana. Upasana says that she's a chirpy, happy-go-lucky bookworm who loves to eat, cook, travel, listen to music, and read about Indian mythology. She says she's fortunate to have visited 13 different countries and loves exploring new cultures. Currently, she's working as a senior technical writer for an MNC, and tonight she's going to be your timer. Over to you, Toastmaster Upasana.
Thank you for the warm welcome. Good evening, everybody. As timer, I will time the table topic speaker, formal speeches, and the evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green, red, and yellow cards. For table topic speakers, the time limit is no more than 2 minutes. Let me quickly show you the time cards. So at 1 minute, I'll raise the green card. At 1.5 minutes, I'll raise the yellow. And at 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. For the other speeches, which is of 5 to 7 minutes, at 5th minute, I'll raise the green card, 6th minute, yellow, and 7th minute, red. Same goes for the evaluation, which have 2 to 3 minutes evaluation time. 2 minutes green card, 2.5 yellow, and at 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Upasana, for explaining the role of the timers brilliantly. Next, I have the R counter with me, and tonight the R counter is going to be none other than Toastmaster Karthik. Toastmaster Karthik is a full stack developer in Travelopia and a tech trainer. He says he's a history and movie buff. He loves storytelling and listening to music, and he's always trying to be the best version of himself. Aren't we all trying that here in Toastmasters? Over to you, Toastmaster Karthik, to explain the role of the R counter.
Thank you, General Evaluator Joane Joseph. So I'm the R counter for today. The purpose of R counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen to overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen to filler words, including and er. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means, this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Over to you, General.
Thank you so much, Karthik, for the crisp to the point R counter role explanation. Next in my team, I have the Grammarian. And tonight, the Grammarian's role will be played by Toastmaster Sudharma Perera. Sudharma stays in Venugopal, Sri Lanka, and she is a fellow chartered accountant and an MBA from the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, Sri Lanka. She says she's interested in learning new things, getting to know new people, and she loves traveling to new places. Over to you, Sudharma.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for that introduction and invitation. Dear Toastmasters and guests, as grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any misuse of English language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. Today, our word of the day is, let me share my screen. FAQ. It is the word of the day today, and meaning is a person who truly loves food. For example, he was a considerable FAQ. He researches diets carefully and is a true FAQ. I encourage all Toastmasters and guests to use the word of the day in today's meeting. And I will encourage you to switch on unmute your mic and please pronounce the word at once, epicure.
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 Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Grammarian Sudharma. Last, but definitely not the least, is the member, the listener of the team. And tonight, the listener is Toastmaster Samita. 30 plus experience in academia as a principal and now as a trainer. She's a mother of two wonderful children, and one of them, her son Sourav, is the one who introduced her to Toastmasters. Good for us. And she's a speech crafter who is now a Toastmaster. Over to you, Toastmaster Samita.
Hello, everyone around. Today, as a listener, my role is to listen carefully. Now, in this era of constant noise, we actually don't listen. So I will be jotting down some questions, which I'll be asking at the end. To answer, you have to raise your virtual hand, and I'll call out the name. You need to unmute and speak. Please, a request. No answering in chorus. If there is a question based on the speaker, her topic or his topic, they will not answer. We will see who answers the most and becomes the listener of the day. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samita, spoken like a true teacher and principal on the Teacher's Day. So, such beautiful and crisp instructions for a listener's role. Usually I always say, I'm a general evaluator, I'm the principal, and I'm going to keep a check on all of you. But with the theme tonight, I feel like I'm more like a storekeeper for all of you epicures out there, ensuring that all your ice creams are served perfectly at the room, perfect temperature, without melting, and with the right flavors. I'll be giving my general evaluator's report along with the tackle team report at the end of the meeting when called upon. Thank you so much. Back to you, TMOD Gihan.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Let's give a big round of applause to our General Evaluator and tackle team. That's the brief introduction of the roles of General Evaluator and tackle team. Let's move on to the regular Toastmaster meeting. So there are 3 sections on regular Toastmaster meeting. First one is prepared speech section. Second one is table topic section. And third one is the general evaluator section. Now let's move on to the first section, that is prepared speech section. For this section, there are 3 speakers. Before calling upon the first speaker, let me call upon the evaluator of first speaker, that is Toastmaster Priyanka Rannorey. Toastmaster Priyanka is a research and development engineer at Nokia. She is a fitness enthusiast and she enjoys traveling to places that hold significant history. Toastmaster Priyanka, please read out the project objectives and guidelines of your designated speaker. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. My target speaker is attempting pathway motivational strategy. Level 3, Project 1. The purpose of the project is for the member to cultivate understanding of how his or her emotions impact relationships. It is also designed to help the member identify how others' emotions impact his or her emotional state. The purpose of this project is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience, journaling emotions, or being aware of emotions when interacting with others. Timer, please note, the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the target speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Priyanka. Now let's call upon the first speaker, Toastmaster Smruti. Toastmaster Smruti is a sincere and mindful, introverted person. She is an MBA graduate and experienced corporate sales manager working in B2B sales. Being a qualified soft skill trainer, she has facilitated various proficiency augmentation sessions for a diverse group of audience. Toastmaster Smruti, are you ready? Okay. Toastmaster Smruti, emotional popcorn. Emotional popcorn, Toastmaster Smruti. Over to you.
The temperature rises to 180 degrees Celsius. The pressure gets high enough. The corn heats up. The outer layer gives away. The soft starch inside inflates and poof, it explodes. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, that's how a popcorn are made in an oven. Does the entire process sound interesting or scary? It's fictional though, but how the corn might have felt while going through the process. Well, you all can sleep on that thought today. Meanwhile, let me take you all to a roller coaster ride of emotions. 23rd August 2023. Rakhi was around the corner. I'm in US, far from home, but the Insta Reels, YouTube shots of people were giving me a total festive vibe of Raksha Bandhan. I was earnestly waiting for the Rakhi of my sister from India. Yes, we had a pact of tying Rakhi to each other since 1991. With only 7 to 8 days in hand, I was all pumped up. My routine was pretty monotonous that week. Completing my household chores, calling my sister for Rakhi update, checking my mailbox for some surprise courier from India, and coordinating with my transcript evaluation agency. Okay, transcript evaluation agency. Those are the agency which help us to evaluate as previous degree in order to do any higher education in US. They given me a deadline that I have to submit all my previous document by August end, or else the result might be scary. I was on the same beat for the entire week. 25th August 2023. I completed my household chores, called my sister for Rakhi update, checked my mailbox for some surprise courier from India, and coordinated with my evaluation agency. I gave them some excuse for the delay in process. Time was ticking, and the Rakhi wait was beyond my endurance. 27th August. It was a Sunday. I didn't sleep the previous night because of my curiosity. 6 a.m. Eastern time, which means 3:30 p.m. in India, I called my sister for the Rakhi update. My voice was loud, but she responded maturely and said, "It's not in my hand. I did opt for the fastest international courier service, and I'm hopeful the Rakhi might reach you before 30th. Just be calm." Just be calm? Seriously? She said that? That made me more furious, and I disconnected the call. The following 2 days, 28th and 29th of August, my routine had a slight change. I didn't do my household chores. I didn't call my sister. Though I decided to check my mailbox for any surprise courier from India, but I didn't coordinate with the agency for evaluation. It was mid-morning. I got a call from the agency that in case I don't adhere to their deadline, it might cost me $300. Now that didn't help me much. I was more disturbed and distressed. My sister called me twice, but I didn't answer the call because of my imbalanced state of mind. I lost my sleep and appetite. I was troubled, worried, and furious with overloaded emotions. With that, the D-Day arrived, the day of Raksha Bandhan. I was all grumpy that morning. Didn't do my chores, didn't call my sister, no surprise courier in my mailbox from India. My Rakhi didn't arrive, and I missed my transcript evaluation deadline. In that very moment, I entered the emotional popcorn phase. Raised to a temperature of anxiousness, pressure of deadline, heated up with a lot of apprehensions, and poof. I exploded. I cried and slept the entire day without food and water. I was drained physically and mentally. The following day, I woke up with a loud ring of my mobile. It was my sister again. I answered the call. She heard me, empathized with me, and allowed me to cry my heart loud. Once I was done, she asked me to do 3 things. 1. Hit the pause button of life for a moment. Self-introspect the last entire week, and then respond thoroughly. I did the same for a change to seek some clarity, because that week, my unidentified emotion affected my relationship and life in general. Post analyzing, I decided to deal with those things which are there in my hand. I called my evaluation agency. I requested them, took the ownership of the entire delay, and asked them for some reconsideration. In a jiffy, they listened to my request and gave me some relaxation and cost and deadline. It was not sorted, my life was not smooth, but with that step, I tasted a pinch of being emotionally intelligent. Dear friends, during that entire transit, I learned the 3 seconds rule of popcorn. It states, you should stop the cooking time in the microwave when you hear 2 to 3 seconds of gap between pops at the end. Similarly, when you are loaded with unavoidable emotions, take a pause. Identify the feelings and then ask why before reacting it. Because everything in life happens for a reason, and it's all about sweating the small stuffs. So enjoy it before it melts. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Smruti, for that wonderful speech. Now let's move on to the second speech. Second speech will be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Sourav, attempting his level 1 project 4 on persuasive influence. This project will be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Nagesh. Distinguished Toastmaster Nagesh is passionate about his work at home, in a profession, or with Toastmasters. From an early age, he was passionate about engineering and was fascinated by how buildings are built. The thrill of construction projects got him to be part of the building from the age of 18. He says life gave him early opportunities outside of Toastmasters, and Toastmasters happened to him very late. Distinguished Toastmaster Nagesh, please read out the project objectives and guidelines of Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav's project. Over to you.
Thank you, TMOE. I'm evaluating our evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. While he is listening to the speech, the second speech, and providing his evaluations, I will look at how the evaluations have been provided to the speaker, looking at the guidelines of positive feedbacks, areas of recommendation, any challenges that is being given, which can be incorporated by the speaker in over a period of time, and things like that. And I will give my evaluation when called upon by the general evaluator after the evaluation by DTM Sourav Dutta. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you very much, Distinguished Toastmaster Nagesh. Now let me call upon the evaluator of second speaker, that is Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav. Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav is the VPPR of both the Gabbys Toastmasters Club and the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. He has achieved 2 DTM awards, 3 Triple Crowns, and completed 8 paths. Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav, please read out the project objectives and guidelines of your designated speaker. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening. My target speaker today is attempting the second project, or the elective project from the third level of our path, effective coaching. The title of the project is Connect with Storytelling. The purpose of this project is for the member to participate, to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. The member completing this project is focusing on using stories in a speech or creating a speech that is a story. The member may use any type of story, personal, well-known fiction, or one of his own or her own creation. I would be listening for a well-organized speech that is a story or includes a story. Apart from the regular parameters like clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, audience awareness, comfort level, there are a couple of parameters that we will particularly watch out for in this evaluation. One is interest. Is the member able to engage the audience with interesting, well-constructed content? Impact. Is the story having the intended impact on the audience? And finally, and most importantly, the pace. Is she ensuring that the pace is enhancing the delivery of both the story and the rest of the speech? So all the timing for this particular project is 5 to 7 minutes. Timer, please note, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Speaking Toastmaster Sourav. Now let's call upon the second speaker, Toastmaster Chetana. Toastmaster Chetana is a loving mother, passionate podcaster, and avid student of human behavior and psychology. Toastmaster Chetana, are you ready? Okay. Toastmaster Chetana, express and appreciate. Express and appreciate. Toastmaster Chetana, over to you.
I would request all of you to close your eyes for a few seconds and listen to these letters carefully and let me know what comes to your mind after you're listening this. M, O, T, H, E, R, mother. Mother. I would just want few of you to just open your eyes and type in what came to your mind as soon as you heard this letter. Yes, Smruti, you can type in what came to your mind.
It's comfort.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else would want to share?
So, love and respect.
Yeah, love and appreciation. Thank you for sharing. I think these words came out, but what I could see on each one of your faces was a wide smile. Everyone had that smile on your faces. Yes, definitely. I know whatever language we address our mothers, be it mother, ai, amma, whichever language we turn, but that mother's love is always precious. Right. I still remember my mother, who was a great artist. My summer vacations were filled with a lot of painting, arts, all the stuff. And she always used to encourage me to take up sports. Above all, a delicious food. And chakli and kajaya, these are the two best things which I still remember her. See, these two sweets, for the people, those who don't know, is the delicacy of South India, where which is made out of rice. My mother was a compassionate and lovable person. She was the one who made me to believe in myself and always asked me and encouraged me to accept the life the way it came. And she was the one who taught me to wear a smile always on my face. My mother was a granted person in my life. Little did I know this was going to change. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests present here. It was November 18, 2004. Evening at 6 p.m., music teacher was taking classes for my daughter. and me and my father were sitting on the sofa and watching that. And back in the kitchen, my mom was preparing an early dinner as she was to go to a doctor. Exactly at 6:30, my brother and mom stepped out of the house saying bye to us. Exactly at 9:30, I get a call from my neighbor's house that I have an emergency call from my brother. I was a bit scared. I suspected it's not to be good, but prayed to God and went and received the call. As I suspected, the news was not so good to me. My brother and mother had met with an accident. Though I was shocked, I had so much of fear. I couldn't show that in front of my father and my kids. I had to take them along with me to the hospital. As soon as we reached the hospital, it's Nimans, like where I could see my mother lying on the stretcher. I couldn't see neither a scratch nor a blood, anything on her face or on her body, except for a little swelling on her forehead. Looking that, I felt, okay, it's fine, it's going to be fine, it's not so serious. But later on, after a few hours, we get to know from Nimans Hospital that it is a serious case and we were supposed to move from Nimans to Habaya Hospital. We took her to the Habaya Hospital. Still, that entire whole night, me and my brother were just praying to God that some miracle should happen and she should be safe. I still recollect her face, eyes closed, with the ventilation she is breathing. It was just our prayers, that's all it was there. The whole night we just prayed, and next day morning, 3 o'clock, the doctor comes and tells us that your mother is not responding to any medicine, so you can take her back home. I did not accept this message. I did not believe that whatever doctor was telling. What I started to do was, I started to do the Mrityunjay Japa. So this is a prayer which we do to safeguard our family members. But nevertheless, God has decided something for her. Exactly at 5:15, an ICU staff comes out and says that my mother has left her last breath. I literally wanted my mother to fulfill all her wishes. I wanted to take her to all the places. I wanted to get her the gold bangles from my own money. I wanted her to see my kids growing, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't express my gratefulness for her, whatever she has done for me. I couldn't thank her for whatever she has done to me. I couldn't appreciate how strong she was. Had I waited too long for it? How many of you feel that you were not there to fulfill the wishes, to be there to your loved ones when they really needed? It is not necessary to lose someone to know their values in our lives. Toastmasters, are you waiting for a better time to express and appreciate? Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chetana, for that insightful speech. Before calling upon the third speaker, let me call upon the evaluator of third speaker, that is Toastmaster Mamta Singh. Toastmaster Mamta is a software developer at Cognizant, Bangalore. She hails from the steel city of India, Bokaro, Jharkhand. Her hobbies are traveling and clicking lots of Instagrammable photos. Toastmaster Mamta, please read out the project objectives and guidelines of your designated speaker. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Gihan. My target speaker is going to attempt L4P1 project from the Path Communicate Change. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to effectively communicate change to a group or organization. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice speaking about change. Speech length 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you and all the best to my target speaker.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mamta. Now, let's call upon the third speaker, Toastmaster Aparna. Toastmaster Aparna is a passionate speaker, hippie at heart, mom at home, and entrepreneur by choice. She has awarded the Outstanding Toastmasters of D92 in 2021 and won some contests at the division and district levels in all three formats of speeches. Toastmaster Aparna, are you ready? Okay. Toastmaster Aparna.
Check. Can I do a quick AV check since you asked?
Yes, yes. Sure.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
And visible?
Of course, yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Toastmaster Aparna. Here's some news for you. Here's some news for you, Toastmaster Aparna. Over to you.
A very good evening to everyone present here. Toastmasters, today is going to be a historical day in the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. And before I tell you why, let me ask you all a question. Toastmasters, raise your hands if you've ever delivered a speech. Yes, you heard me right. If you've ever delivered a speech, there you go. I didn't expect anything less. We've all been there. Now, Toastmasters, raise your hands if you still shudder and experience a bout of glossophobia when you deliver a speech, not just online, but in front of a live audience, offline. Oh, there, several hands shooting up. And that is the reason we're all here today, this evening. And that is what has given birth to the announcement that is to follow. So Toastmasters, quickly let me tell you how we got here. As you all are aware, the Gabbys Toastmasters Club came into being right in the middle of the pandemic when the entire world met online. Our meetings were conducted online, our businesses were conducted online, trainings, coachings, hell, we even met with our family online. So a club, it only seemed natural that we started an online club, and hence the Gabbys Club came in online 100%. However, as of today, the pandemic is officially over. The world has adopted the new normal, which is offline meetings. And people are attending offline meetings front, back, and center. In fact, with a vengeance, almost as if we missed it, which is true. We did miss seeing one another. And that is why Toastmasters, the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, has decided to become a 100% offline club starting January 2024. Let me repeat myself again. The Gabbys Toastmasters Club is going to become a 100% offline club starting January 2024. Now hold your horses. I can only imagine the surprise in few of you and the shock that some of you are experiencing. So I request you all, I in fact urge you all to lend me your ears for the next few minutes so that I can help you with all that's going on in your head. The first thing, this is not something that is going to happen overnight. It's not going to be a cut to the point. Definitely not. We don't function that way. So how we plan to do this is in phases. Starting September, this month, we plan to have a hybrid meeting every other week as opposed to just the first week. And the next month in October, we plan to go in for 3 hybrid meetings and 1 completely online meeting. And in November and December, we will be having 100% hybrid and offline meetings, which will be towards the end of the year. Now, in this period, we also plan to look at the challenges that arise, which will be a plenty, I am sure, and resolve them successfully and slowly phase out. So the beginning of January 2024, we plan to step in as an improved, as an elevated, new Gabbys Toastmasters Club, a completely offline club. This is the need of the hour. Our reality is face to face. As much as we see each other over the screens, we have a life outside of it where we have to meet people and do this communication, which we are learning here, right? Successfully, if that has to happen, this is a much needed move. The second thing we plan to do, the biggest issue that we've always had has been in finalizing where do we meet, how do we meet. It's not very convenient to me. These are some of the things we've heard our members say, and yes, we hear you. So we have two ideas in place, which will be discussed with the members, and then based on your opinions, a consensus will be reached. The first plan is to go in for a centralized location with an ease of connection to everyone here in Bangalore and its surrounding areas, whoever plans to come to the meeting in person. The second option is to choose some very strategic locations, about 3 of them, around the city, so that every member at one point or the other has an ease of commute and doesn't have to go through the hassle of traffic. We believe we can reach a good conclusion with your opinions later on in the following weeks as we roll out the polls and the discussions on this matter specifically, just for the commute and the location. And finally, the most important point, I think this is what would be riding in most of our heads at this moment, at least when I heard it, that is what I thought of first. Nothing else. When I say nothing, I mean nothing else is going to change in the way we work. Our mentors will continue to mentor us. The meetings will be conducted just as fantastically as it is done till date and as efficiently. Toastmasters, I know this is a big change, but the problem with change is not change itself, but the uncertainty that accompanies it, and that is exactly why I want to announce it to you all right here, 4 months in advance, and we have our president, DTM Nagesh, Ramamurthy, and our VPE, Toastmaster DTM Nancy Goel, who are ready to address every query that each one of you all might have. So, with your permission, we want to take every member with us. As we always say at the Gabbys, no one will be left behind. We will address each one of your queries, and with your complete take, with your complete confidence in the decision, we plan to step into the new year into a much better, grander setting to reach greater heights. We need your buy-in. Thank you. And back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Aparna, for that fantastic speech. Let's give a big round of applause to all the speakers today. Now, let me call upon the timer. Toastmaster Anukampa, please let me know that is there any disqualification of prepared speech session?
No, Gihan, there is no disqualification.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster.
Upasana.
Sorry, Upasana. Toastmaster Upasana, yeah. Then, dear Zoom Master, please launch the polls for the best prepared speaker. Please, everyone, vote for your favorite prepared speech of the day. Thank you, Zoom Master. Moving on, now almost we are beyond the agenda with in line with timing. So let's move on to the next section. Our next section is impromptu speeches. Please welcome our table topic master of the today's meeting, Toastmaster Prabha. Toastmaster Prabha is a fun-loving, ambitious, and sporty person. Alongside her profession as a product manager, she finds delight in exploring new places and immersing herself in different cultures through travels. Toastmaster Prabha, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the day, Gihan. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Welcome to the table topic session. This session is to test your impromptu speaking skills and how well you can organize your thoughts. And the beauty of this table topics is that it's all about your unique perspectives. So I encourage everyone, including guests, to jump right in and participate because life is happening right now and you don't want to miss the chance to speak your thoughts before this session slips away. Just a little rule before we start. Each speaker will be given 1 to 2 minutes in which at 1 minute a green card will be shown, and at 1.5 minutes yellow card will be shown, and at 2 minutes red card will be shown. And extra 30 seconds of time will be given as a grace time for all the speakers. So who's ready to give a try today? Raise your hand and let's make this session super fun. I see Diana's raising her hands. Diana, I will be pasting the topic for you in the chat, and I'll be reading out your topic at the end of the session. Here it goes. So I see a guest named BP Kothiyal. Would you like to come on the stage and give it a try? Okay. So I see Priyanka. Toastmaster
Yes.
Priyanka.
Yes, Prabha.
All
I'll try
right.
to switch on my camera just a second. But
Sure.
please, can you read the topic again?
Sure.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yours will be, what is that one thing you feel you missed out on doing during your time in college?
One thing that I miss doing in college.
Yes.
I missed being notorious in college. I was a very, very obedient child. I never lied. So actually now when I fast forward and I really think and look back, I wish I was a notorious child. I wish I had done something very funky, something crazy, because when my brother's just the opposite of me. He was a very, very notorious child. He did everything, that could probably shoot up my parents' anger level to the maximum. And I was just the very good and the calm child of the family. So when I look back, my brother has a lot of stories to share to all of us, and we all till today discuss about the stories and have a hearty laugh. But when I think, I really don't have stories because I was such an obedient child. And I feel it is not good to always be an obedient child. It is good, but not always. You should always be a little notorious. You should sometimes go outside your comfort zone, outside your boundaries, and do something silly to at least know was that silly right or wrong, because you will be so consumed into your comfort zone that when you realize that what you missed during that time, you just can't get back to the time and do those stupid things or those funky things that you really wish you could do. And this is something that, I really miss. And I keep telling my brother that because you were a notorious child, I guess I had to be the good child. I wish you were a little much sober down so I could have been a little more, out of the box. They always say that, there'll always be one, out of the box who's very notorious, and one to just, get your parents in a stable state. One has to be. Probably I was that chosen one. But given a chance, I would like to play the reverse role. I would want my brother to be the good child and me being the most notorious child of my family. Over to you, table topic master.
Wow. I totally get where this coming from, because I was the notorious one in my home, and my younger sister was very obedient and still is a very sincere girl, and she says the same thing as you are saying, so I totally get it. And yeah, so give it up for Toastmasters Priyanka, everyone. All right. So who wants to go next? I see Toastmaster Samita. All right. Imagine being 14 again with a chance to live life differently and explore new ideas.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Sorry, table topic master of the day.
That's fine.
Imagine being 14 again. Wow, that's such a lovely thought. Being 14, you are in the teens. You can be rebellious. You can do all those things that your parents tell you not to do, and derive absolute pleasure out of it. If I was 14, I would love to run away from my house, take a train, and randomly get down at any station. Not feel frightened that I don't have any known person around. I would love to explore that place, meet different people, see if I don't have any money, how will people treat me? Can I survive? Can I work somewhere and get some money? Can I visit the places that I want to visit? What will life teach me when I decide to run away and go without the shade of my parents, without the comfort of home, without the feeling that someone is there to take care of me? I will grow up, and I'm very sure I would have some amazing experiences. Can it be that some experiences will be bad? Maybe. But I would love to embrace those experiences too, because certain times these experiences teach us a lot more than the good experiences. It would definitely teach me how to be more aware of my surroundings, whom to trust and how to trust. At the end of it, when I would come back, definitely my parents would be open armed receiving me, but at the same time scolding me a lot. I have lost both my parents. I would love them to scold me again. I definitely miss it. That would be my adventure. Thank you.
Wow, Toastmaster Samita. It felt like I went back in my 14, at the age of 14, and I was also very notorious and wanted to run away from my home several times whenever I got scolded for something or anything. Yeah, so big round of applause for Toastmaster Samita. All right, so I want to call upon next from our guest, Arun Hegde. Would you like to try it? Arun Hegde?
I'm just getting things to know. It's the first time I'm meeting, and I'm not sure how the meeting goes and what exactly we'll be discussing. So
Oh,
getting
okay. Okay, sorry, you are the new member. I'm really sorry about that. So the thing is that you just whatever I'm going to give a topic, you just need to think about what your take is, what your take on that topic, and maybe share some past story or whatever you are feeling about that topic. Would you like to try?
let me try.
Sure. What was your live in the moment today?
In the moment means in what sense? It's work, personal life, or
Where you felt like you are totally immersed in the moment and you felt like it shouldn't end. Like if you are reading something, you didn't feel like I need to stop it right now because something else is waiting for me, some other commitment is waiting. So something of that sort.
yeah, that's what I would say is the me time joining you guys. So I'm thinking I'll spend more time and I'll get to know more things. But at the same time, I work on North America zone. It's morning there, so which is pulling me in. Another laptop is pulling me in, and another room is waiting for me.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm curious and I'm interested, and I want to help each other and want to take away more things from you guys. At the same time, I'm willing to share my expertise with everyone so that it's win-win for everyone. Yeah, that's what I want to share for today.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Arun Hegde. So who wants to go next? I saw Joanne raising her hand. Yeah, Joanne, would you like to go for this?
Yeah.
All right. So if you could choose one rule to break, which one would that be? And what motivates your choice?
When I hear the word rules, somehow it's like a double-edged sword to me, because as a student, I was always a rule breaker, but I've always also been a teacher. And I know how much pressure it puts on a teacher or an adult that somebody breaks the rule. Right. So I've seen both the sides, being a rule breaker as well as being on the end where someone else break the rule and you have to be accountable for what happens next. So this is a very difficult question. Which rule would I break? I think, broken all the rules in my youth. Because when it comes to youth, I believe a youth is not a youth unless it rebels. If it does not rebel, if it does not break a rule, then it's just a child. Is there anyone in this room present who has gone through your youth and never broken a rule? Any single person? I don't think that's possible. That's not possible, because that is the definition of youth. You break rules. You stop being a child when you break rules, and then you get into your youth. And then when you understand the importance of these rules, you start becoming responsible. And that is when you transition from youth to an adult. So I would like to go back to my youth and break all the rules again. Because as an adult, unfortunately, many a times I do want to break a lot of rules. Also some of the Toastmaster rules, which are rigid at times, but I can't. Because as an adult, I understand the necessity of these rules. And I understand that I am responsible so that the meeting, the society, the community that we are in functions properly. If there is one rule that I want to break, trust me, my dear friends, at the end, it is the rule that says that adults can't break rules. For example, as an adult, I like to keep stuffed toys with me. Many times people say, you are an adult, why do you sleep with a dolphin on your bed? I like to sleep with a dolphin. There is no rule that says that you can't have a stuffed toy as an adult. And if there is then that is a rule that I would like to break today. I would like to be a youth and break all the rules back again. Thank you, and back to you.
Wow, what an insightful take on this breaking the rule as an adult and as a youth. And second to your, interesting rule to break. Amazing. Give it up for our general evaluator, Joane. So I would like to call upon our next guest, Kavindu Sharada, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Would you like to go as the next speaker? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Would you like to take the next topic?
I'm also new here.
Okay.
This is my first meeting.
Okay. Would you still want to try?
Okay, let's give it a try.
Yeah. All right. What would you do if you become your superhero for a day?
Superhero for a day. So as I think there are so many people want to do something, change something in their past. I ask everyone to come to me and give their chance to change their past to make their future happy. Such thing like that. Thank you for your chance.
Wow, you being a time traveler superhero, that would be an interesting superhero for the people.
Yes.
Give it up for Kavindu. That was a great take. All right, so who would want to go next? Before that, Toastmasters of the day, do we have time to go for a few?
Yes, you can go with one topic, yes.
Okay, so I would like to call upon Meeta M. Shah.
Yes, happy evening.
Happy evening to you too. So for you, the topic is life is the art of drawing without an eraser. I'll repeat. Life is the art of drawing without an eraser.
So happy evening and happy Teachers Day and Mentors Day to all my mentors and teachers learning from each and everyone. So the topic is life is an art of drawing without an eraser. Yes, life is an art because how we take right way, that comes a thing, and depends on the thing. Different colors we choose in the drawing, like just like a paint, we can take a different colors and shades, and we can shape our life in a very colorful way, like rainbow colors. I feel that yes, life is very important, and we can take it in art without any eraser, not required. When we are doing any painting, we can't erase it. So it is the one way that we can change our life in that colorful way, so that beautiful life, we can enjoy our life. And once in a way, like it will be a one time we are getting that opportunity. So we have to cherish that life. So that is my way that yes, it is a wonderful drawing. We can show the world that yes, we can do it, and we can share that to the others also. So it's a message for everyone that yes, life we can make it, paint it either different colors or rainbow colors, but it depends on the one time. So back to the table topic master. Thank you.
All right. That was a interesting take on life being being an art and how you draw stays forever and you can't erase it. So give it up for Meeta, everyone. Okay, so I think we can go ahead with one more topic, which will go to Toastmaster Upasana. So your topic is, which movie character's life would you want to experience? Which
Before I start, who will be my timer? Oh, thank you, Karthik. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Prabha, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, which movie character's life would you want to experience?
So recently I rewatched a movie, Piku. So I was very intrigued by her life because she is independent, she's an entrepreneur, she is quirky, she's a typical Bengali girl, and I would love to enjoy that character. I would love to relive her character, even though she has a weird dad, and I guess every Bengali parents are around same way, and her life revolves around her father. And the best topic which Shujit Chorkar had taken up was about motion, like about your bowel motion. That was a very good take, and the way she experiences her life through her mid-30s, that is very interesting take. And I enjoyed that the way she portrays her thoughts, even on her parents, even on her relatives, and she is very adamant and ambitious that what she wants, she gets it, she works hard for it, and she says about her heart. She is not in a cunning way, she's not that she would say something but she'll mean other. Even if she has her partners, she has friends, even though, and I really love the way she balances her family life and her professional life. Being an entrepreneur, being a CEO of a company, it becomes very tough to handling your family life. And even if you have a partner, it's still understandable, but having a parent who has some chronic disease becomes a challenging task. So I would love to enjoy this character a lot. That's all. Thank you.
I totally agree, Upasana. I mean, like, whenever I watch this movie, I feel like this is for me. This movie is for me. And the parents, now that they are growing older, I mean, they are acting somehow like that, like Amitabh Bachchan in the movie. So yeah, I agree with what you said. All right, so give it up for Upasana, everyone. All right, so now that we have come to end of this session, I would first like to call out Diana's topic on this. Every bit counts. Thanks, Toastmaster Madam. My favorite is ice cream butter peanut with cherry. My travel is London, Ontario, and my hobby is computer. I like to take relax of my holiday break time, epicure. For my life, I travel lots time with my worker. My feel that happened was worse in my life. Epicure by roommate was bullied to me every time. Epicure. I know that part in my life, Epicure badly feel inside. I has a great moment, moment in whole life. Wow, Diana, you have used Epicure so many times. I think nobody has ever, or maybe I've missed someone using Epicure as a word of today. But you have used so many use Epicure in your speech. That was a great speech about your life, your hobbies, your interests, and how you got bullied, but you are still rocking here and you come every day in this meeting and be the most enthusiastic person on this meeting. I really, you are an inspiration to almost everyone here. So big round of applause for Diana. So with that, we have come to an end of the session, and I have had great time here. Hope you enjoyed the table topic session today. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prabha, for amazing table topic session and for reading out our most enthusiastic that our member participant Dina's thoughts on her chosen scoop of ice cream before it melts. Let's give a big round of applause for our table topic master and all speakers. Now let me call upon the timer, Toastmaster Upasana. Please let me know that is there any disqualification of table topic speech session?
Yeah, so Arun Hegde and Kavindu completed before the time. I mean, it was just 30 seconds. So hence they are disqualified. Rest everybody is qualified.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Upasana. Dear Zoom Master, please launch the polls for the best table topic speaker by removing disqualified names. Okay, I hope everyone vote for the favorite table topic speech of the day. Before moving on, let me apologize for any mispronunciation of any name or anything. So now we're moving on to our agenda, our last section of the meeting, which is the general evaluation section. To guide us through this section, please welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Joane Joseph. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Gihan. We are at the last end of the race, the general evaluation section. And in this session, the first thing we'll do is call in the evaluator so that they can give evaluation for the prepared speeches. So I would like to call upon my first evaluator, that is Toastmaster Priyanka Rannorey, who will be evaluating speaker 1, Smruti. Over to you, Toastmaster Priyanka. Timer, please note, evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes. Over to you, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, very good evening. And my target speaker in particular, Toastmaster Smruti. There's a very famous saying that popcorn is one of the only situations in which we eat the result of the explosion. Similarly, you took us to the roller coaster explosion of your emotion by sharing a very relatable and personal story of yours. What I really liked is the way you allocate the right area to a descriptive of the scenarios and emotions that created a vivid images in our mind and we could relate to it. Your speech was very well structured. Your speech had 3 purposes. One was the member to share some aspect of his or her experience journaling emotions or being aware of emotions when interacting with others, and I think you nailed it. The next purpose was member to cultivate an understanding of how his or her emotions impact relationship. In my opinion, I felt much was not well into this aspect. I felt you could have gone a little detailing in this aspect, especially when you were undergoing an emotional outburst or this vulnerability, how it impacted your relationship with your sister. Though your sister was very understanding and mature, but I'm sure there could have been some impact of the relationship. I wish you could have dwelt a little more in detailing of this aspect. It also involved member to identify how others' emotion impact his or her emotional state. In my opinion, I felt even this factor was a little missing in the speech. Probably when you went during this emotional vulnerability and you kind of stopped answering your sister's call. I wish I'm sure she would have gone through some kind of an emotional turmoil. And if you could probably brought that out and the kind of burst she would have probably had a reaction towards you when you probably spoke to her, I wish even that area could have probably been a little more dwelt into. Another thing that I would probably suggest maybe in the future speeches is your eye contact towards the camera of your phone or the laptop that you were using, because it looked a little too wavy at times, not every time, but at times. And secondly is your standing position. If you had probably taken a step or two back, because you were using a lot of hand gestures, somewhere very clear and somewhere not very clear. Otherwise, I really loved your speech. It was very, very relatable. It kind of took me to a journey, an emotional kind of a journey, which I had a couple of days went through. I really loved your speech. All the best and looking forward to your future speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyanka. What a detailed evaluation you gave. It was a difficult evaluation because the project purpose was very specific about the emotions. Now, let me just give one point for Toastmaster Priyanka. Priyanka, you said you loved the vivid images, you loved the structure of her speech, but how? How did she portray that vivid image? How did she portray that structure? What sentence was that? What she used, which was like the epitome of vivid imagery. So please, if you can highlight that sentence, that would be great, because there is an audience of 25 people sitting here, and we would also love to learn that what is it, the sentence or the words that can be used to enhance our vivid imagery. Okay, so that's one point. And second point is lovely evaluations. All the points are really good, but if you give 5 points of evaluation to a speaker, the chances that the speaker is listening and applying that 5 points is very low. Like, this is just a human nature. So I would suggest that you give 1 major or maximum 2 major evaluation points. Even though the project purpose has 3 or 4 points, you choose 1 or 2 which you feel like is a priority for that speaker, so that she can come back in her next speech as a better speaker. Just highlight on those 2 points, and maybe a 1 minor point like eye contact or something. 3 points maximum, so that we know that Smruti can go back, apply that, and come back in the next speech with a bang. But otherwise, you're an excellent evaluator. Thank you so much, Priyanka, for that. Speaker Smruti, I honestly loved your speech. It was an emotional roller coaster, right? I did not write too much, and all the points that the evaluator said are valid and to the point. Only one thing I would suggest, and this is out of the context of your project purpose, just a suggestion, think about voice modulation. Your words are really powerful. Like, you have got that knack to use good descriptive words, like the evaluator said. If you can add voice modulation, that will be like the spice, the cherry on top of this vanilla ice cream that you see. For example, you said the temperature rises to 180 degrees Celsius. Imagine temperature rises to 180 degrees Celsius. Puff, it explodes. These were your first 3 sentences in the speech, and I was waiting for that puff, for that popcorn feeling, the flavor, the fragrance. That was missing. Think about voice modulation. It will add to that emotional roller coaster ride. Thank you so much, both Smruti and Priyanka. Thank you so much. Now, next, I would like to call upon my second evaluator, who will be evaluating my second speaker. The second evaluator for the day was distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta, who will be evaluating Chetana. Can I have Chetana also on the virtual dais, please? The speaker Chetana. Chetana, if your camera is not switched on, you cannot be spotlighted. Thank you so much, Chetana. Over to you, DTM Sourav Dutta.
Thank you so much, Chetana, for giving the speech and more importantly, for sharing a story. And I can totally understand sharing this story must have been so difficult for you, right? You actually had to relive those moments, go through those moments, which was extremely painful. And that's where I want to really appreciate you giving these kind of speeches where you are recollecting an experience which you want to forget. It's painful. And delivering that for a duration of 5 to 7 minutes, it's like testing your tenacity, testing your strength. And I must say that you passed it with flying colors. I have done such speeches, I have heard such speeches, and I've never seen someone who's so much in control of the speech, of the emotions when you're delivering the speech. Hats off to you for doing that. And here's some very powerful lines. One that absolutely stood out for me. It is not necessary to lose someone to know their value. What a line. I think every one of us, each of one of us here should write down that line and put it as a WhatsApp status probably or somewhere out there. It's a laminate quality quote, I would say. And that's something that you should definitely, I would thank you for sharing that with us. Now, coming to some of the things which you could have done better. Keeping the emotions aside, I will be doing a pretty objective assessment of things from a story point. Right? And so what's a story? What's the difference between a story and a narrative? A narration is where you say what happened. A story is where you say how it happened. A story takes you along. A narration keeps you informed. You told a story, but you told it like a narration. I could connect with the incidents. I couldn't connect with your emotions, because I couldn't see those emotions being expressed vividly on the screen. I couldn't see those emotions coming out in your voice. And that is what is necessary when you're telling a story. Even today, if you ask me to tell a story, I will close my eyes and the only thing that I can remember is, and the dacoits came back into the jungle on their horseback. Tick, 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 tick. This is how my dad used to tell me a story. This was like when dinosaurs walked the earth. And I still remember that story. And that's how a story has to be told. The other thing is usage of English language, correct usage of English language. That's a very important instrument in your storytelling. So you said something like this. What came to your mind when you heard the letter mother? Mother is not a letter, it's a word. When you heard the letters that make up mother, right? And there were quite a few sprinkled all across the speech. I don't want to nitpick. So basically, pay attention to the English language, portray your emotions better, but do retain the control. And thank you for trusting us and sharing something that's so painful. Thank you. Over to you, Chetana.
Thank you so much, DTM Sourav Dutta. You did a strong evaluation today and you justified the emotions and the courage with which Chetana shared her story. As I have nothing more to add, honestly, DTM Sourav Dutta has said it. The control and the courage are two things that I loved about your speech, and the difference between narrative and story, which he spoke about. One thing I would like to address is, when you think about story, think about dialogues. That is the easiest way to identify whether I am doing a story or whether I'm doing a narrative. A story without dialogues, 99% of the time becomes a narrative. I'm not saying you can't have a story without dialogues. You can, but 99% of the time it becomes a narrative. So the moment you start adding dialogues, like my Amma was saying this and my kid was saying that, and then suddenly my brother called. You said the brother called, and then you should have said, he said, Akka, Chechi, whatever, so and so happened. Now, this is all nitpicking, given the fact that the story you shared was such an emotional roller coaster, right? I don't know where to stop and where to nitpick, right? Like, that's the point. But storytelling, easiest way is add dialogues. That makes it easier for you to make it into a story. DTM Sourav Dutta, I have absolutely nothing left for you to comment on your evaluation, except one thing is maybe a little more structure, in the sense, the structure of positive 1, 2 and structure of improvement, area of improvements 1, 2. I loved the way you spoke about the emotions and the courage part. A little bit structure where the speaker can go back and think, okay, what am I going to work on? Number 1, number 2. That's it. Otherwise, a pretty good evaluation, bang on point. Thank you so much, DTM Sourav Dutta. Thank you so much, Chetana. That was really a very powerful speech and a very powerful evaluation. Now I'll call upon my third evaluator, who is going to evaluate my third speaker, that is Toastmaster Aparna Raja. And the evaluator is Toastmaster Mamta Singh. Zoom Master, can we have Mamta and Aparna on the virtual dais? Thank you so much. Over to you, Mamta.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Joane. My dear target speaker, Toastmaster, the title of your speech was, here's some news for you. The content, what you spoke in your speech, was completely aligned with the audience you have. it was related to Toastmaster, certain news in the Toastmaster, and you are giving those things to the Toastmaster live audience. That was great. You engaged your audience by asking the question in the beginning of your speech. You started your speech with a question, and I saw that people were raising their hands and replying back to you. So, or in terms of audience engagement, you are very good with that. Vocal variety, voice modulation, hand and palm gestures. I must say that you are somebody in our club we should look up to emulate all these qualities in our speeches. Thank you for that. In fact, I must say, I have rarely seen people while giving the speeches using the platform. Like you kept on walking, you were using the hand movement, you were using the palm movement, you are doing the eye contact, you were confident, but at the same time you were walking also. Like I felt like I'm seeing a TEDx stage, and you are walking. So kudos to that. You are fab with that. Now coming to the point of improvement, the message of your entire speech was related to a news, like the Gabbys is going to conduct an offline meeting by January 2024. But you told just one benefit, social life. Why one should, just to have the social life, why one should go to the offline club? There should be more convincing points, right? Throughout, like after your speech, you kept saying, don't worry, don't panic. DTM Nancy Goel is there. A whole entire XCOM team is there to help you, to assist you. Don't worry, don't panic. Okay, as an audience, as a Toastmaster, I'll not panic, but convince me that why I should go to the offline club. Maybe it is not aligning with my timetable. I'll join another club which will be online. So you should convince me more why I should go for the offline meeting, right? Now coming to another point, like you said, surrounding location, the location would be nearby, but how much nearby is the nearby? It's very subjective. So you could have given a number like 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers, 8 kilometers from where you're staying. So that could have like impacted your speech more. Overall, it was a great speech. Work more with the content, have some substantial content backed by numbers, because you are addressing a change here that should convince your audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Evaluator Mamta. Very good points you brought in, especially of the fact that, yes, Toastmaster Aparna is someone that we look up to. And whenever she speaks, we gather and try to get all the good points from her and learn something new from her. I like the way you spoke about the positives, Mamta. Now I'll talk about the evaluator first. Mamta, your points were great. Bring in data. That's an important point. When you are talking about change, Toastmaster Aparna, there's something called as a change management plan. This is a huge change, right? So you brought in the news, but if you could have brought in some aspects of the change management plan, like why the change, how the change, what are the benefits, and back it up by data. Why, how, benefits, back it up by data. And what are the problems and how are you going to address the problems? This is basically the overall change management plan. This comes into the organization of the speech. Toastmaster Aparna. So I felt that organization was missing. And the second thing that I had kept in my mind was data. We need data. You cannot just come and say, I mean, you can come and say, I can also come and say, but it's a little unconvincing. Or I would rather put it in this way, that it is more convincing when you back it up with data by saying that we have seen that speakers, 90% of the speakers become better only when they do it offline. Or we have seen that networking skills have increased so and so when they do it offline rather than online. That data adds power to whatever change you are bringing. So data and structural organization, especially because this was like a huge change management that you were talking about. That's for Toastmaster Aparna. Evaluator Mamta. One thing I want to talk to you about is, as an evaluator, what is your responsibility? Your responsibility is not just to give feedback or ask questions. Your responsibility is to encourage the speaker and let her know what she could have done better. In your evaluation, I felt like you were more asking questions and it was a little bit of argumenting. I'm not saying you're wrong, you're right. But then you are talking to her as if you're the audience. But right now, you're not the audience, Mamta. Right now, you're an evaluator. So as an evaluator, you have to tell Aparna exactly, Aparna, these things if you could have done, then your speech would have been better. Your purpose could have been achieved in a better way. As an audience, you asked valid questions, but as an evaluator, you don't have to say you have to convince me. You can tell her how she could have convinced the audience better. So these are the things. When you're taking the hat of an evaluator, think like an evaluator. Your purpose right now is only to help Aparna, to encourage her and make sure that she gives a speech again, maybe in the Gabbys offline mode, and she does a fantastic job, better than what she has done. Okay, so that hat of evaluator you need to think about. That's it, Mamta and Aparna. That's my 2 pieces on your speech and your evaluation. Aparna, one last thing is a hurried conclusion. I felt the conclusion was not punchy enough. You hurried, you saw the red card and you were like, I have to stop it. That's what I felt personally. So a punchy conclusion where we are more curious and, we'll come back to you for questions or come back to the club for questions, that was missing. Thank you so much, both Aparna and evaluator Mamta. Now I'd like to call the 4th evaluator of the night. That is Distinguished Toastmaster Nagesh Ramamurthy, who is going to evaluate the evaluation of Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. Can I have Nagesh Ramamurthy, sir, and Sourav Dutta on stage? Zoom master? Yeah, thank you so much. Over to you.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Evaluation from a DTM like Sourav Dutta. I was not expecting anything less than what was shared by the evaluator to the speaker. What is expected out of the evaluator? Constructive, tactful feedback that the speaker needs to take it to the next speech and better himself or herself. I would say, looking at what has been shared by the evaluator to the speaker, he has been an outstanding audience member, listening to everything that has been said, especially when he started off evaluating, saying that it was so connecting to me. It's a great story. It has been difficult. You have gone through a difficult time, and it takes courage to share. It takes tenacity and strength to come and share with the public like this. You finished the project in flying colors, is what I heard. Very wonderfully evaluated over there. I also heard that it's a quote which needs to be laminated. There are very few places where this evaluator says this, especially when it is very catchy and you want to take it home forever. Well done there, encouraging the speaker on the content part of it. What more I would want to add to what evaluator did was dive deep little into the content. Content is the king. As the speech started, eyes were closed, and after it was MOTHER was said, she requested 2 of the people to open the eyes. I think I closed my eyes for a longer time because she didn't ask me to open it. So there was a little flaw there in the beginning itself. And also she talked about, I saw so many smiling faces. If that was the content, I would have expected the speaker to ask everybody to come on camera so that more faces are seen and she sees more smiling faces. So there was a bit of mismatch between the content and the way it was delivered. I wanted that to the evaluator to catch that on. The best thing I liked in the evaluation was telling the speaker that there is a difference between a story and a narration. A story has got a wax, and you demonstrated that very well by using that galloping of the horse, making the sound which we hear it in a story. So it makes us connect to the story. That very well was demonstrated by the evaluator. I liked that bit of it. Otherwise, you are a great evaluator, except for small things. Also, if you try to give it to the speaker, I think it will be a great takeaway for the speaker, small or big. each points that you give is worth a gold for any speaker by the evaluator. With that, Madam, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Nagesh Ramamurthy. This is one of the reasons I didn't want to delve deep into Sourav Dutta's evaluation, because I knew he was going to be evaluated by Nagesh sir. And you have brought in some really good points, sir. Nothing to add much except one thing for you. Nagesh sir, such wonderful points. We youngsters can learn so much from you. If you could have organized it in a better way, like you said, some positive points, then some areas of improvement, then some positive. So at the end of the day, in my head, there are so many points happening. If you could have organized it in a much better way, 2 points, DTM Sourav, you did fantastic. 2 points you could have improved as an evaluator. Then as a future evaluator, I would have benefited from that much more. So that's just one recommendation for you, sir, a little bit more organized in your evaluation. And another thing that I wanted to bring to DTM Sourav is, DTM Sourav, when you are an evaluator, that is a very difficult hat to wear. So even if the speaker has been emotional, you acknowledge that emotional part, you encourage the speaker in that area. But then as an evaluator, I think you have to be very neutral, and you have to go, as Nagesh sir said, deep into the structure of the speech, the content of the speech, and the delivery of the speech. I felt somewhere, maybe because the speech was too emotional and too close to your heart, that you didn't go deep, which otherwise you do. I know that. So just remember, as an evaluator, you have to keep that emotion aside and go structure, content, delivery, whether the content is very emotional or not, because that is what is needed for the speaker so that they can come back next time. That's just something as an evaluator, all of us have to take care of. Otherwise, fantastic. Both DTMs, Nagesh and Sourav, have done a fantastic job. Thank you so much. Now I would like to call upon the timer to give the timer's report for the evaluators. Are there any disqualifications?
Yeah, Nagesh sir is disqualified. Rest everybody is qualified.
Rest everybody is qualified. Thank you so much, timer Upasana. I would like to now call upon my taggle team. I've already called the timer out of the taggle team, and she has given a very short and to the point report saying that only Nagesh sir was disqualified. I'd now like to call upon the R counter, so that the R counter can give his report for the whole meeting. R counter Karthik, Zoom master. Thank you so much for highlighting Karthik. Karthik, over to you.
Yeah. So I'll be sharing the R counter report. Yeah, can you see the report?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so here you can see how speakers have used more R's and the filler word ein. And I would like to congratulate few speakers who have not used any of the crutch words, and they are Toastmaster Aparna Raja, give a big round of applause to her. Toastmaster Chetana, give a big round of applause to her. And also Toastmaster Arun, who has not, Toastmaster Arun also has used less number of crutch words. So here is the report of R counter and why the crutch words are not recommended to be used while you're speaking, just to make an impact speech. So with these R counters, with these crutch words, your speech may not be as impactful. So I would recommend, there is always a room for improvement. So please use less of crutch words. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, R counter Karthik, for that crisp and to the point report. One thing I could gauge from the data is we all use and a lot as a filler word. Something to think about maybe. Next, I would like to call upon the grammarian for the day, Sudharma. Toastmaster Sudharma, the stage is all yours. Zoom master, can you please spotlight? Thank you.
Thank you, General. Let me share my screen. Thank you. Hope you can see my screen. The usage of word of the day today use since I request all to unmute and pronounce it. I heard Toastmaster Joane, Toastmaster Chetana, Toastmaster Samita, Toastmaster Gihan use 4 times. Imbalanced state of mind, elevated, no one will be left behind, notorious, you nail it, punchy conclusion, and code to be laminated. Rhetorical devices, answer not required, does the entire process. There is a question by Toastmaster Smruti. And are we waiting for better time to express your appreciation, Toastmaster Chetana? And repetition of word and of order. Where do we meet? How do we meet? Toastmaster Aparna. Without comfort of anyone, without anyone, Toastmaster Samita. Whom you should trust and how to trust, Toastmaster Samita. And proverb, enjoy the ice cream before it melts away, Toastmaster Karthik. And table topic master has selected a topic, life is an art of drawing without an eraser. Question and then answer hyperpora. Toastmaster Aparna use how we plan to do this, it is this. And metaphor used by Toastmaster Joane in her evaluation, cherry on ice cream. Recommendation, I would like to recommend for the speakers to use the grammar on correct order as per the subject and object. Over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sudharma. And last but not the least, let's call the listener for a punchy round of listening questions. Toastmaster Samita, the stage is all yours. Zoom Master, kindly spotlight Toastmaster Samita.
Thank you. So I hope all of you all were listening. And now the first question, which evaluator works in Nokia? Your virtual hand should go up, and then you can unmute and speak after I call your name. Yes, Chaitanya?
It's Toastmaster Priyanka.
Yes, correct. It's Toastmaster Priyanka Rannorey. The second question, what was the title of Speaker Smruti? What was the title of? Yes, I can see Aparna, Toastmaster Aparna. You can unmute and speak.
Emotional popcorn?
Yes, correct. It was emotional popcorn. Wow, Toastmasters were really listening today. The third question, what did her mother always teach her? Chetana. Speaker Chetana said something her mother always taught her. What was it? Something regarding what we all look in the Zoom and do?
To be humble and grounded.
No, it was to smile. To always smile. The next question. Which stuffed toy did our general evaluator, Joane, mention?
Penguin.
Dolphin.
Dolphin.
What type of dolphin? A real dolphin?
Soft toy.
Yes, it was a stuffed dolphin that she was talking about. And there's another question. What is the date or which month is Gabbys Club going offline? This is Speaker Aparna Raja. She had mentioned this. What is the month?
January 2024.
January 2024 is the right answer. Thank you so much. All of you all have been listening, and actually you all have all adhered to the fact that like ice cream, it melts if you don't eat it in time. Similarly, active listening is a must when you are attending a meeting. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Okay, a big round of applause for our listener, Samita, and the whole Taggle team, timer, our counter, all our evaluators and speakers. A big round of applause for everyone. If I look at the agenda, we are already past the time, but as a general evaluator, there are some points that I have to mention for today's meeting. So I'm not going to go into every single role and every single speaker or evaluator. I'm just going to go 3 to 4 roles I'm going to talk about. The first one is Chaitanya. Chaitanya, you did a fantastic job. You always do it. You're really like now an expert in being Sa and opening the meeting. But let me tell you one thing, it's 7:30 p.m. It's evening. People are tired. We are out after, the work, we are sitting here. So the responsibility that you have is tenfold to take the energy up, to pump up. So you delivered perfectly the Sa role. I just want a little more energy so that when we are starting in the meeting, we feel like, yes, we are going to do something great today. That responsibility is yours, Chaitanya. I hope you keep that up, the energy. Presiding Officer Karthik, fantastic job, nothing to comment. Just one thing to keep in mind, you opened the theme before the TMOD. Before the TMOD came and spoke about the theme, you spoke about the theme and you said, we are excited to know what ice cream you're going to serve, what flavors you're going to serve. No, that's not a wrong thing. But sometimes, the TMOD comes with some plan of mystery. He doesn't want to talk about the theme right away. He may want to ask questions. So if the presiding officer opens the theme before the TMOD, sometimes it may clash with the plans that the TMOD have. So it's better if the presiding officer does not touch upon the theme directly and ask questions about the theme directly. That's just a suggestion. You can take it or you can leave it. This is something that I practice. Next, let's talk about the TMOD. TMOD Gihan. Gihan, was this your first time taking the TMOD's role?
In Gabbys' first time.
In Gabbys' first time? Then kudos to you. I congratulate you for breaking that barrier and taking up the TMOD's role. Congratulations. You did a really good job. You brought in a very exciting and interesting theme, which really gave our PR a really good job of posters. We were excited. We are still excited looking at Upasana on a screen. And I love the topic. I love the first slide that you shared with us about those 5 flavors and travel and, hobbies and stuff like that. And you asked questions to people. That was very organized and structured way of asking questions to people. So I like that a lot. You brought in words like scoop master. You brought in your own anecdotes. So I love that too. Now, there are a couple of suggestions from my end to you. The first thing is, Gihan, this is going to be a speaker's tip. Okay. What I think is you speak a little too slowly. Okay. Now that's not a bad thing. That's not like, oh my God, Gihan, you're wrong. No. But what happens, in a very tight pack 2-hour meeting, you are the TMOD. If you are a little too slow, the meeting goes a little too slow. So you speak a little too slowly. And what I observed was, one thing is you don't open your mouth and speak. You speak very softly. Now, when I'm sitting beside you as your friend, and if you're talking to me, I would love it. Or a cup of coffee, I would love it. But as a host, you have to be loud and clear, like you can see me right now. So the tip is, take a glass of water, fill your mouth with as much water as you can, and try to hold that in your mouth. Okay, this is a tip for every speaker out there who has a problem of opening their mouth and speaking, right? Just practice this whenever you're drinking water, and don't worry, you won't have cheeks like me. This is not because of this practice. You'll have your own like chiseled cheeks even if you do this. What this helps you to do is this helps you to open up your muscles so that when you speak, you open your mouth and speak, and that will help you to, speak faster and clearer. So that's one tip as a speaker that you can think about. Take it, leave it, all up to you. The second is role of the TMOD. See, the role of the TMOD is, one, he's the agenda keeper, he's the timekeeper, he has to ensure that the meetings flow smoothly. And second, he or she has 15 precious minutes in their hand. 5 minutes in the beginning, 5 minutes in the middle, and 5 minutes at the end for conclusion. So as a TMOD, please come a little bit prepared of what you're going to do in that 5 minutes. Opening 5 minutes, middle, and end. Yes, you did a fantastic job in the beginning. I have to appreciate it for that. But then where is the theme now? Right? Where are the scoops of ice cream? What about the melting flavors that we have not yet tasted? I'm missing that point. So anyone who takes up the TMOD role, also think about the theme as well as the agenda. That's all from my side to you, Gihan. And last, I'll come to the table topic master, Prabha. Prabha, hi, did you take this table topic master role for the first time? Yeah. So then, fantastic job. Really, you brought in a lot of different types of topics. And if it's your first time, then I have to encourage you. I appreciate the fact that you took up the role. You said, okay, I'm going to do this. So I won't go into too much details. Only one thing, Prabha, your energy is the audience energy. You are the master, whether you're the TMOD or you're the table topic master. Remember something, you are the head. Whatever you do is going to affect the whole meeting. All right. So if you pump up your energy, like I'm trying to do right now, the audience will be like, oh, wait, I want to listen to Prabha. On the other hand, if you go sweet and soft, and I'm not saying going sweet and soft is wrong, it is very good. It's very nice. As a friend, I would have loved you to have here and had a conversation, right? But in a meeting, that sweet and soft Prabha needs to go a little at the side, and the strong and energetic Prabha needs to come in. So energy, that's one thing. Second, short topics. Your topics were really interesting and intriguing, but they were too long at times, I felt. Shorter topics, to the point topics, okay? And let the speaker decide what they want to do. Imagine being 14 again is a great topic. Imagine, but your topic was imagine being 14 again, and then there was one more sentence attached to it, right? That was unnecessary, right? So think of short, crisp topics and energy. These are the two things I want you to think about, Prabha. Overall, it was a really emotional roller coaster kind of a meeting. Honestly, we had two speakers who brought in such personal stories, you know, touching your heart, whether it was about the mother, whether it was about the sibling relationship. I'm sure everyone in the audience can connect to that. So I loved the meeting. I just hope that we have more energy and a little more structure when we come back for our next meeting. That's all from my side. Back to you, TMOD, Gihan. Gihan, you're on mute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joane Joseph, for guiding us through this evaluation section. Let's give a big round of applause for her and all the team. And dear Master, please launch the polls for best evaluator, best auxiliary role taker, and best role takers. Okay. In the hustle and bustle of our lives, it's easy to overlook the simple joys and feeling moments that make life truly special. Just like a scoop of ice cream under the summer sun, these moments are delicious and precious, but they can melt away all too quickly if we won't savor them. So let's remember, as we journey through life, to enjoy it fully before it melts away. Cherish the flavor of existence, celebrate each moment, and make the most of the time we have. Like a scoop of your favorite ice cream, life is meant to be enjoyed before it transforms into cherished memories. May your life be filled with the joy of savoring its sweet moments. Now I will pass control of the meeting back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Karthik. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Gihan Wikramasinghe. Thank you. Thank you for giving us a taste of ice cream. At the same time, letting us know that how to enjoy life before it goes away. Give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Gihan. And also give a big round of applause to all the role takers, auxiliary role takers, our general evaluator, Joane Joseph, and our prepared speakers, our evaluators for making your time, for taking up roles, and also making this meeting a wonderful meeting. Give a big round of applause. We literally tasted the taste of ice creams with different flavors, with different role takers. Thank you so much. Now it's time for the feedback. I want to ask few of you that how you felt about this meeting. And I would like to ask our newest member, Arun. So to let you all know that Arun has joined Gabbys Toastmasters Club, and he's a very, very newest member, and he has joined the club today. So I want to ask Toastmaster Arun to let me know how was your first day with Gabbys as a Gabbys member. Over to you.
I'm thinking why did not I join before that? So that is the thing coming into my mind. So it's so well and it's well organized, and So as of now, I'm a people manager. I'm thinking in my current role as of now, I could have been in better version and I can help many lives again in a better way. That's what I'm thinking. So it's overall, it's very good and very good from each stage where we know how to speak as well as how to give the feedback also. So it's really great. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you for that feedback. Hope you grow with us and also grow together with Gabbys. Thank you for choosing Gabbys and would like to see you speaking in Gabbys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that feedback. Now it's time. So I have launched the poll for best role taker. Please cast your vote for the best role taker. And by then, I would like to ask our guest BP Kotial to let us know how did you experience this meeting. Over to you, Kotial. Are you there? Okay, I think he's not. Okay, he's not responding. So let's move on to others. So I do have all our Gabbys members today. Most of us are Gabbys members, and also would like to ask. Okay, Before that, let's go on with the results which I have with me. So I would like to go with the first result, that is best auxiliary role taker. Who do you think it is? We had timer, we had grammarian, we had our counter, that is me, and we had listener Toastmaster Samita.
Sudharma.
Yes, it is Toastmaster Sudharma who has won the best auxiliary role taker as a grammarian. Give a big round of applause to her. With that innovative idea of letting us know the pronunciation by adding that in her presentation. I mean, I had never seen that. So thanks for letting us know that we can even add a voice note to the presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Sudharma. So now moving on to the best evaluator. So the best evaluator is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. Give a big round of applause to him. And next is the best role taker. Who do you think the best role taker is? She is none other than the general evaluator, Joane Joseph. Give a big round of applause for giving us that lovely evaluation and the pertinent evaluation. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joane. Now moving on to the best table topic speaker. Here is again some surprise. Yeah, Priyanka, you were guessing something.
I said it would be Joane.
Yes, it's again Toastmaster Joane winning the best table topic speaker. 2 awards in a row. Please give a big round of applause to her.
I have to say something here. As a general evaluator, I did make a mistake, so I'm evaluating myself. I did not give the timer a chance to present the timer's report. I saw the time and I was like, oh shit. And I should have given the timer a chance to present a report. Apologies, Upasana. I will keep that in mind next time too. And you took it on yourself and you shared the report in the chat. I saw that. So kudos to you for that initiative. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that is how you justify you won the best general evaluator. Give a big round of applause. And last but not the least, who is the best prepared speaker? It is none other than Toastmaster Aparna Raja. Give a big round of applause to her. So, as I told, again, a warm welcome to all the new members to Gabbys Toastmasters Club, and again would like to welcome Toastmaster Arun for choosing Gabbys again. Thank you so much. And with this, I end the meeting of Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. That is meeting number 12. Yeah.
Diana is waiting to share her feedback and
Okay.
also about her write-up regarding the first question that was asked by TMOD regarding which ice cream that she likes. So she has sent a chat, and
You
she
want to read it,
also is
Priyanka?
yes, I would love to read her message, and she
Yeah.
also messaged about vote Diana. I guess that is pending, her voting. Her poll.
Yes. I will launch the poll for the best enthusiastic. Guest. I'll just launch the poll.
In the meanwhile, I will read her feedback for us. And it is, I felt like that the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, and I like to take table topic. That's my answer. That's her feedback for us. And her, can anyone spotlight her? She wants to be spotlighted.
Yeah, she is already spotlighted. Let me remove myself and you.
Yeah, just
So
spotlight
that
her.
only she is on spotlight. Yeah, she's on.
She will spotlight. Yes, Diana. And Diana's take on the ice cream is, I don't lie to everyone in my life by college epicture. That, I hope I'm reading the right one. Yeah, that is the right one. A picture that career better not liar. A picture, and I don't want to miss out the course in during my life. A picture in time bit in life. A picture counts this improv course as better in the college school. A picture, and I know that college school are skilled best skills. A picture with my improve stronger, very powerful, that might feel a picture. Thank Toastmaster madam. Okay, I think this was regarding her speech, but regarding her ice cream, did we read about her ice cream, her favorite ice cream? I'm a little confused. There are too many chats. Did we read about that?
We did read about her favorite ice cream flavors during the table talks.
Great. So let's give a huge round of applause to Diana.
So here are the results for the best enthusiastic participant. and she is none other than Diana. Give a big round of applause for the best enthusiastic participant. As I say, the best enthusiastic participant to the power of infinity. She is always the best enthusiastic participant. Give a big round of applause. Woo! Yes, Diana, we can hear your joy. And I hope you have the ice cream as soon as possible, whichever flavor you like. And with this, we are end of today's meeting, and let us meet with the 3-year celebration that is on 8th happening. We have some educational speakers, and as well as we have table topic marathon run by none other than our Toastmaster Joane Joseph and Toastmaster Aparna Raja on 8th of September at 7 p.m. So see you all there. And also we have 3 days of celebration that is on 8th, and also on 9th we have some educational speakers and panel discussions. And on 10th, what is on 10th? It is the Talent Expo, Gabbys Talent Expo. Let me tell you all, so we have a great performance, singers, dancers, we have a skit, and also we have a poetry, and we have storytelling. So these are the events we have planned on September 10th, and it is going to be a great Gabbys Expo. That is talent show, and talent is going to be exposed on September 10th. So on September 10th, we end our 3-day celebrations. So see you all these 3 days, learn and as well as get entertained. So thank you so much for joining us today. So see you all back on 8th September at 7 p.m. Thank you so much for joining.
Bye-bye. Good night, everyone.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, guys. Bye.
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 Great work, great job, Toastmaster of the day, Gihan. Thank you.
Yes,
Great job. Bye, Diana. Bye. See you
and
on.
a happy trip, Diana, whichever trip you're going to. Happy trip for that.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, Smruti. Bye, Priyanka.
Bye, Smruti.
Bye, Toastmaster
Bye,
Samita. Bye, Meeta. Bye, Diana. I'm closing the meeting right now.